If you love liberty, declare your independence by signing the Shire Society Declaration at shiresociety.com.
Good morning, and thank you for coming out in this blizzard. Definitely appreciate it. I'm Darryl Perry. I'm the chairman of the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire, which is the third largest and the fastest growing political party in the state. And for the first time since 1996, the Libertarian Party is once again a ballot qualified party in the Granite State. Allow me to give a brief history before telling you why we're here. On July 16th, 1991, Calvin Warburton, who was serving his 7th term as a Republican state representative, became the first sitting legislator to switch parties to the Libertarian Party. In 1992, Warburton was reelected to the New Hampshire General Court. He was joined by 3 other Libertarian state reps, Andy Borsa, Don Gorman, and Finley Rothaus, and those 4 formally organized the Libertarian Caucus of the New Hampshire General Court, with Don Gorman serving as the Libertarian minority leader. Then in 1997, the ballot access laws were amended in the state, increasing the vote threshold needed for a party to retain ballot access from 3% for governor to 4% for either governor or U.S. Senate. Last year in 2016, the Libertarian Party gubernatorial nominee Max Abramson, who just walked in, got over 31,000 votes, amounting to 4.3% of the vote, thus giving the Libertarians ballot access officially, which will wind up saving us thousands of dollars and countless man-hours, because in 2018, barring a change to election law, we will not need to petition to get our candidates on the general election ballot. Now, let's talk about why we're here today. For the first time in more than 20 years, the New Hampshire General Court will have a Libertarian state rep serve the majority of their term as a Libertarian. Caleb Dyer is a fine example of the rare legislator who confidently puts principles first and foremost. I welcome Representative Dyer into the Libertarian Party with open arms, and I hope that by 2018, the New Hampshire General Court will again have an officially recognized Libertarian caucus. Representative Dyer will also be a featured speaker at the LPNH Annual Convention on March 18th. To order tickets, you can go to lpnh.org/convention. Before Representative Dyer comes up to make his statement, please welcome Arvin Vora, the Vice Chair of the National Libertarian Party.
Thank you, Darryl. Thank you to all those who are here today. Thank you to those who are watching this on Facebook, who are watching this through their blogs, members of the press, those of you assembled here. Thank you for being here today to witness an important moment in libertarian history. The last year has been, without question, the most libertarian year, the most successful year for the Libertarian Party in its history. Our presidential candidate got more votes than any other Libertarian Party presidential candidate at any point in the party's history. We've had more registrations than we've ever had before. Our numbers of supporting and donating members has skyrocketed. The number of people running for office has gone up to levels that I've never seen before. And today, even though it's snowing outside, I have amazing news that I'm so proud to be part of. Today, for the first time that I can remember, and quite possibly the first time in the party's history, we will invite, for the first time we're going to have 2 sitting Libertarian state legislators. Caleb Dyer is a man who has stood unabashedly for libertarian principles. As a legislator, he has specifically reported his policies every day to his constituents. He's fought for police accountability. And he's no soft libertarian, let me tell you that, for those of you who are wondering. No, no, no. Caleb Dyer is a real libertarian. He's a voluntarist libertarian. He's somebody that talks about, that fights for the real principles of real libertarianism. He's already been working to recruit more people and to lead them as libertarian candidates in this coming election cycle. I want to speak a little bit about courage, because it takes a lot of courage to do what Representative Dyer is doing today. It is not an easy thing to switch based on principle from an old party to a rising and growing party. It is a rare thing to see, and it's something that takes a formidable amount of courage. Representative Dyer has also fought to reduce government at all levels. He's fought for social freedoms. He's fought for economic freedoms. He's fought for libertarian awareness. He's fought to make sure that New Hampshire remains the live free or die state. It is my great pleasure and it is my honor to introduce Representative Caleb Dyer and welcome him to the Libertarian Party.
Thank you very much. Good morning. I address you today while the other members of the Chamber participate in their caucuses to inform you that I am no longer a registered member of the Republican Party. I have made this decision after weeks of internal deliberation and consultation with trusted friends in the Chamber. I believe that it is time to demonstrate to the people of New Hampshire that such a duopoly of partisan interest, which presently controls this House, is not in their interests. It is no secret that the majority is deeply divided along principled lines. In many ways, the growth of this division is representative of the shift in the attitudes of the people of this state. Instead of embracing this division and building a coalition from it, the leadership has kept their internal opposition at arm's length, expecting them to fall into line with the party, even against their principle. By doing this, the leadership has alienated a growing portion of the electorate that installed them. In order to ensure the adequate representation of these principled interests in the legislature, it is necessary to organize members of this internal opposition. While I commend the efforts of the House Republican Alliance and the Republican Liberty Caucus, I do not believe that organization within the structure of the Republican Party will be sufficient to compel leadership to be attentive to our objections to their priorities. To these ends, I truly believe that the best course of action is to organize outside of the party and force coalition. For this reason, I have chosen to register as a member of the Libertarian Party. I do not begrudge my former Republican colleagues for their choice to stay, as I would hope they would not begrudge my choice to leave. The potential influence and electoral security that the party provides is compelling enough of a reason for them to remain. I simply ask those representatives who are hesitant to follow their partisan directives to seriously consider this option. Our work and duty to protect and defend our Constitution is ultimately our greatest service to our constituents, not our partisan duties and responsibilities. In this past election, for the first time in nearly 2 decades, the Libertarians have reclaimed official party status in New Hampshire, and with it, access to the ballot in the next election. This fact should be seen as a warning to the members of the majority that their constituency is slowly but surely growing discontent with their increasingly partisan representation. For elected Republicans like myself who have libertarian leanings, this is truly a golden opportunity to establish ourselves as a viable alternative to this representation and become advocates for principled, classically liberal policy. If we do not take advantage of the gift this disenfranchised segment of the electorate has given us, we will surely return to find internal opposition even less willing to coalesce. Over the next 2 years, we will be working hard to prove that people who want to get involved do not need to choose between being principled or effective. We hope that in 2 years' time, our perseverance will inspire hundreds of people across the state to submit themselves to their peers as libertarian candidates. Because at the end of the day, it is we the people who are the masters of the state. Whenever the ends of government are perverted, public liberty is manifestly endangered, and all other means of redress are ineffectual. The people may, and of right, ought to reform the old or establish a new government. The doctrine of non-resistance against arbitrary power is absurd, slavish, and destructive to the good and happiness of mankind. Thank you. And I'll take any questions.
Any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, who's going to flip next?
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't appear that there will be anyone. There might be, but as of right now, no names can be dropped. So with that, I guess that concludes the press conference. Thank you very much, everyone who attended.
I think we've got another question. Representative Dyer, will your priorities change at all now that you're a Libertarian representative? Do you have any new goals to tackle?
No, the priorities will be pretty much the same. I ran on no policy points. I only ran on principal points on my website. And when I went up to people's doors, that's about all I talked about. So all policy proposals are going to pretty much remain the same. I already had a list of what I'm going to introduce next year. I already knew what I was going to introduce this year. So nothing's going to change in that respect. But in terms of engagement with constituents, that will change. I'm certainly going to be a lot more aggressive because they need to know. One of the facts about New Hampshire is that very few people know who their representatives are, and if they do know, they don't really know what they're up to. So that was my mission when I ran. I wanted to bring that information to the forefront because it's critical that people do know those things. So I'll be much more aggressive in terms of engaging my constituents and letting them know, hey, I'm third party, this is what I'm up to. Because even if they disagree with me, that's much more valuable for them to know and disagree with me than for them not to know and me just get away with anything. That's effectively what will change, but nothing in terms of policy proposal or priority. Any other questions? All right, seeing none, thank you very much for coming. It's great to be a member of the Libertarian Party.
All right.
We'd like to invite you to visit freekeene.com. Freekeene.com features audio, video, and blogs chronicling the transition to a voluntary society. Freekeene.com also has comments and discussion forums so you can be heard. Freekeene.com.
I should be in Keene, New Hampshire with the Free Staters.